It wasn't the sound of his neck breaking that haunted me. It was the silence right after. People imagine horror as loud. Screams, shattered glass, thunderous footsteps. But the most terrifying moments of my life were quiet, like the hush before a confession or the soft breath someone takes before a lie. Prom night was meant to be unforgettable. In a way, I suppose it was. I stood behind the velvet curtain, sweat prickling my spine under the cheap satin of my strapless dress. My palms were damp from holding the metal rail too tightly. I wasn't nervous about the prom reveal. I had planned it with the drama club down to every glittering second. I was nervous because Mr. Levy had tapped his watch twice. It was the signal, but it came 12 seconds early. 12 seconds. Not much, really, but just enough to twist the timeline of my life in two. When I let the curtain fall, it felt like the world held its breath. Then came the screaming. Not one scream, a wave of them. Crashing, multiplying, unrelenting. There, hanging above the stage, was Mr. Gaines. Our janitor. Our quiet, soft-spoken janitor with a gray cap always askew. He hung from the rigging ropes like a grotesque puppet. His body limp, neck grotesquely elongated. The skin torn where the fibers had bitten too deep. Blood ran slowly down his shirt like thick ink. His face was bloated purple, mouth open mid-breath that never came. My stomach dropped so violently I tasted bile. Everything I'd ever known narrowed to the sight of his shoes swinging slightly, brushing the air where a person should be standing. Principal Weston's voice sliced through the noise. Nobody moves. Mr. Levy's hand clamped around my arm before I could think. When did you check behind the curtain? He hissed. 20 minutes ago, I whispered. It was empty. I swear. He nodded, satisfied. I should have seen it then. The way his gaze didn't flick up to the body, how he didn't flinch. But I didn't. I was still just Jess, a high school senior in a blue dress, trying to survive a nightmare. I didn't sleep that night, or the next. I kept seeing Mr. Gaines's eyes. Not as they were on stage, dead and swollen, but alive, frantic, watching me from impossible places. The corners of my ceiling, the slit between my closet doors, the glass of my window at night. It felt like he was pleading. Not haunting, begging. It wasn't guilt, not exactly. I hadn't done anything, but I hadn't said anything either. 2 days before prom, I'd stumbled on them, Mr. Levy and Mr. Gaines, arguing in the auditorium. I was supposed to drop off prop schematics, but I heard the voices before I opened the door. You're sticking your nose where it doesn't belong, Levy snapped. And you're hiding what doesn't want to stay hidden, Gaines retorted. These kids deserve to know who's teaching them. I didn't understand what it meant. I just remember their eyes when they saw me standing there. Mr. Levy's sharp and unreadable. Mr. Gaines's desperate. I had told myself it was none of my business. But the dreams wouldn't stop. So I dug. Gaines had a safety account. Anonymous, but it wasn't hard to trace. He used our school's hazard forms, logged time-stamped complaints. Faulty light rigs. Storage rooms without fire exits. Most of it was dull, and I thought maybe I was wrong, that none of it mattered. Until I found the photo. A grainy snapshot buried in a misnamed folder. Blurry, almost shapeless, except for a man in a blue and gold tie pressing a girl against the costume rack. The tie was unmistakable. Mr. Levy wore it every day like a badge of control. The girl's face was turned, obscured by shadows, but the posture, rigid, reluctant, made my skin crawl. And he had paid the price for it. I printed the photo and slipped it into Principal Weston's mailbox. A coward's move, maybe, but at the time, it felt like courage. I was finally doing something. I thought that would be the end. It was only the beginning. The note came after sunset. A red envelope on my windowsill, like a love letter in the wrong genre. Inside was a single sentence. Thanks for your performance. Then my phone buzzed. A new video uploaded to our drama club's channel. The title matched the note. I clicked before thinking. Grainy footage filled the screen, too dark, too shaky, but undeniably real. Mr. Gaines was being dragged across the stage. Not by ropes, but by hands. His head lolled, blood smearing across the wood like someone painting with their body. His fingers twitched. He had still been alive when this was filmed. The video cut to black. Then the frame returned, now zoomed in on a figure wearing our signature tragedy mask. White porcelain, hollow black eyes. Small build, hoodie drawn tight. A prop knife glittered faintly. But I knew that frame, that shape, that walk. It was Eliza, my best friend. My prom committee partner. The girl who helped me paint backdrops and sneak cupcakes into the gym. The girl who always stayed late with Mr. Levy. I froze. The realization was slow and sickening, like drowning in syrup. The signs I had missed weren't just ignorance. I hadn't wanted to see. My phone rang. It was her. Eliza? My voice cracked. Took you long enough, she sighed, as if we were discussing some overdue homework. I couldn't respond. She filled the silence herself. Gaines was going to ruin him. My Levi? You don't get it. He sees me. There was no shame in her voice. Only pride. A dark, possessive devotion. I wanted to vomit. I'm calling the police. I have the photo. She giggled. Oh, Jess, who would they even find? He's already gone. And I'm leaving too. My fingers trembled. What do you mean? Check your mailbox. Then she hung up. The street was empty. I crept toward the mailbox in a bathrobe and slippers, breath fogging in the cold air. My neighborhood had never felt so vast and open, like a stage waiting for a trapdoor to open. Inside was a USB stick, a Polaroid photo, my grandparents' house, and a script, handwritten in red ink. Act 2, The Hero Falls. I stood there for what felt like hours, fingers clenching the photo until the edges bent. My phone buzzed again. One final message. I know where they all live. She wasn't bluffing. She had always been the meticulous one. Addresses, routines, secrets. I thought it was just Eliza being Eliza. But now I saw the intention behind it. The way she'd been preparing for something far more theatrical than a school play. I didn't sleep that night either. Not because I thought she'd come, but because I knew she was already near. Watching. Out my window, under the oak tree, something shifted. The porcelain mask caught a sliver of moonlight. Just long enough to make me certain. I haven't gone to the police. What could I say? That a girl in love with a predator killed to protect him? That our school buried it? That my silence was the first mistake? There's no hero in this story. Only acts. Only masks. Only those of us left behind, still holding the curtain, too afraid to let it fall.